Hey guys, this is Ash at Audio 46. So today I'm going to review CKS5TW from Audio Technica. So it's been a while since I reviewed anything from Audio Technica, so I'm really excited. Let's start. Audio Technica CKS5TW comes with the earbuds, charging case, charging cable, ear tips, earring, and the manual warranty. You can control controls like play, skip track, answer phone calls, volume control, and such right on the earpiece. Okay guys, let's talk about the design first, as usual. So right off the bat, I really like the case because it's very light and small, so it looks like it's pretty portable. And I also like the design itself. It's very simple. I like simple stuff. And the earbuds, just like the case, is very simple and classic, and it's very light, so I like the fact that it doesn't feel too like chunky or bulky when you wear it. Also, these run on 5.0, Bluetooth 5.0, so it supports and it is compatible with AC or aptX HD codecs. And from the charging case itself, you will get 45 hours of battery life, and the earpieces will give you 15 hours of battery life. I think it's pretty decent amount of battery, right? In terms of the fit, these are comfortable. All the tips feel comfortable, but the design itself, there's a bit of a, for the lack of the terms, what do I say it, like lump in it. So you will feel that lumpiness or like kind of a bumpiness for a little bit, but you'll get used to it, so it didn't bother me that much personally. And it is sound isolating. It's nothing like I can't hear anything sound isolation, but it is pretty sound isolating. Okay, so the low end on these have a great detail with especially strong tactile sense to the bass. And in general, it's just a bit emotive, but very fun, engaging, and energetic. I did notice though, the sound of the bass leans on this a bit of a lighter side because I'm gonna try to give you an example. For example, you know those Linder chocolates? So it's Linder chocolate versus Kit Kat, because Linder chocolate is covered with layer of chocolate, but there's like a warm, rich chocolate inside that flows once you bite it. And Kit Kat is covered in chocolate, but inside there are wafers, so there is a little sense of lightness and like a gap in between the cover and the wafers. Am I making sense? I hope this is making sense. So when you listen to the bass on these, it is still thick, but there is a sense of a little bit of emptiness in the middle of the sound, and there is a sense of lightness. And for that reason, I would recommend you maybe classical and jazz, because rather than any genres like hip hop, rock, or anything like that, because I did notice jazz and classical bass instruments like contrabass sounded better than anything with like electrical bass guitar or something like that. Okay, so these have really detailed mid-range, and despite its level of clarity and resolution, I never got the feeling of the sound leaning too forward. And if anything, the mid-range is a tiny bit scooped, so it really highlights both the low end and the high end. And I think it provided a really good balance between the both frequencies. So also, one thing I noticed is that the mid-range sounded really good with male vocals, and any type of harmonies with male vocals. So for that reason, I think bluegrass, folk, and any acoustic genre sounded the best. So I think these really shined in the high end because just like the mids and the lows, it had a great detail, and on top of that, it had very clear and forward presentation. And interesting thing is, despite the fact that it has a very clear and forward presentation, the sound of the female vocals or really high-pitched instruments like strings or brass did not sound too bright or too sharp. So I really enjoyed that part. And if anything, it has a sense of a controlled sound and a little bit of a pressed sound to the high end. So when it comes to female vocals that already has a smooth feeling, it really highlighted that characteristic. And for example, Demi Lovato's voice, she has a very like piercing sound. So when it comes to the piercing sound of the vocals, it controlled the vocal and pressed down the vocal to just the right amount. And in general, it sounded great with pretty much any genres like pop, rock, classical, jazz, you name it, everything. I wasn't surprised when the soundstage on these weren't the best soundstage I've heard, or if anything, I was not satisfied because in general, the soundstage felt a little cramped and it was deep, but you know, not that deep. Also, I noticed that especially on jazz and classical music, instruments kept overlapping each other. So yeah, honestly, I wasn't that satisfied with the soundstage on these, but it is passable for like common genres like pop or EDM and stuff like that. My final thoughts. So considering the price, I think these have really solid sound profile. The only thing is I wasn't satisfied with the soundstage, but at the same time, I was really impressed at the mid-range and how it held the other two frequencies well because it had a great balance. I also like the design and how portable and durable this is, so I think I would recommend it to you guys. Alright guys, that was it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my review and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!